We are back in Catalonia for the Catalonian Grand Prix. Back in Barcelona. I mean, I totally got that mixed up. We're here for the formation lap though. On pole position today is Joe. P2 on his DFL debut is Matthew. P4 is Jamie. Noah just scraping the top 10 with P9. Ian slightly knocked out of the top 10 with P11. But the real surprise is Liam all the way down in P18. I thought he'd be higher up, but potential recovery. We'll see what happens. You'll have to stick around and find out. But people, as per usual, I cannot do this by my lonesome because I am just terrible at this game. So I have Callum with me.
Hello everybody, again, hope you're all well. Just coming off the back end of qualifying and we're here now for the race. I mean, very important, let's state the obvious, formation lap. As we look at a possible two-stop strategy, I mean, a lot of the drivers starting on the mediums, a few on the softs. So it's very much a different strategy. I mean, you see P4, Jamie, on those soft compound tyres. You see the top two on the mediums, but everybody else is also on the soft compounded tyres. You're looking probably at a two-stop today. And it is so important then for Joe and for Matthew that they make sure their tyres are prepared. Because if not, I've got a sneaky feeling a bull with some horns might just come raging through.
You are sticking a claim right now that Jamie will win this.
I'm just saying, if he nails his start, his own downfall will be himself. But, people, we are getting close to the line. We are gridding up, and as you say, detriment that they warm up these tyres, the front tyres, especially considering the start that we're going to have. And, well, I mean, we just got to make sure no one tries to be the hero going into turn one.
But as we all know, someone has to. There's always one person. But, people, we are basically lined back up, requiring one more person, which I believe is Liam sneaking into the spot. He might just get disqualified here and reset back, I suspect. So there we are. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And, people, it's lights out and away we go for the Catalonia Grand Prix. Who gets the better start? Noah up to P7, Jamie up to P3 here. Who's going to get the better exit out of the first corner? It was almost Matthew, but Joe just holds it. But we might be going 3 abreast here.
Well, I mean,
is there any damage?
No damage.
That's good, that's good.
Inside doesn't. Joe goes super wide. Jamie back on that battery. And he might just go wheel to wheel. And through goes Jamie to hold P1. And well, people, I might have been a former racer before. But all I said was he just had to ace his start. And I think he just has.
What a start for Jamie. I will be honest, I did not expect that whatsoever. But he is, as Callum said, absolutely aced it and is currently in that P1 position. But going down the list, we have Matthew getting past. Oh, Joe's been sent down.
A Mercedes facing the wrong way. I didn't really catch what happened. He was going wheel to wheel with Matthew. I don't know if he got onto the curb. Or maybe there was contact, I'm sure we'll be made aware. But that has very much played well into Jamie's hands.
Very true, and with Noah in P3 under threat by Sainz, Noah will have to work his butt off to recover for his team here. He'll have to battle away with Matthew. Will he be able to do it? Is going to be an interesting one for the Season 5 World Drivers Champion. But Jamie sailing it at the moment. But we're going to head on down because Ian in P8, Liam recovery of the century up to P11. Will it be P10 here? He's going side by side with Lindblad, but it's close.
I'm saying is Jamie just needs to make sure that this first phase is focused on looking after the tyres. Because given a few laps, the tyre wear will kick in. On the other side of the coin, you can very much say, despite Joe's horror incident of lap 1, kind of fortunate being on the mediums if he catches up to the back of the field. which I think he just about has, he still has that tyre offset. So he's just got to play into that and start to make some moves, but not what the Mercedes would have wanted. On the flip side, you see Noah, not a great qualifying, but has made up some serious places. But we're going back up to P1 as the McLaren and Matthew goes sailing past Jamie and potentially Noah too. But Noah sticks behind. My oh my, this might just be the battle for the top 3.
I have been waiting for a battle like this, but Jamie's gone wide. Will Noah take advantage? He does. On the inside is what I believe. I might get corrected there, but he's up to P2. Jamie going to fight back though. This battle was shown many times in Season 5, as Callum was witness to, but it's going to get reignited here for the P2 position.
I mean, yeah, these 3 might just end up exchanging multiple times in relation to their position. Gapped Carlos Sainz by 1.6 seconds, but separates the 3 of them by 4 tenths. I mean, we're looking at these, I mean...
Are you kidding me?
Wrong way.
And a reset
That's
to
what
track.
we call a commentator's curse. I very much think that's what we call a commentator's curse, because he's back where he started and all that hard work has been unravelled. Ian also falls down to P10, so I'm not, again, too sure what's happened there. But we can get a replay sorted for sure, but by the looks of it, I can only presume there's been contact between the Ferrari and the Haas.
But whilst we're speaking, Joe is on recovery mode, going on the outside of Leclerc. He has Liam in front of him now. He is currently P18. He wants that P17 position. Will he be able to go for it? Around the inside, potentially. But Liam goes for the overtake on Stroll. I think this will be very much a cat and mouse game of Liam gets an overtake, Joe gets an overtake.
I mean, yeah, but Joe, this is detriment. He keeps his foot to the floor and keeps trying to find positions. He's on those mediums. He's going for the offsetting strategy as Liam goes absolutely flying down the inside.
Oh!
Perez and Hadjar, but a bit too confident, and he's been hooked by Hadjar. By this man has it tough in this league. Because at the moment he now finds himself plumb last as Joe takes advantage of the incident between Liam and Hadjar and finds himself in P14. Only 2 places behind your current Constructors leader in Ian.
It's going to be interesting, but Jamie now dropping down to P4 under threat from Alonso. Also with Gasly and Sainz behind him. It seems Jamie's luck of getting that P1 position, not luck, skill, of getting that P1 position may have not been enough to keep him there as he drops to P4 and potentially P5 if Gasly can work up an attack.
I mean, yeah, Jamie about 7 tenths off his quickest lap time in comparison to Noah. Matthew quicker on the mediums dramatically though compared to both drivers. That's all you got to look in for here. Joe currently the quickest on a 1:16.7. Your next quickest car, you're looking at Matthew on a 1:17.6. So Joe very much of a point to prove here as he finds himself all over the back of Ian. He feints it left, commits left. Well, we now have a new driver in P13.
It seems Ian couldn't stay ahead. I accidentally flicked onto the wrong driver whilst the overtake was happening, so I slightly missed it, which is annoying. But nevertheless, as you said, Joe up to P13. He's pulling a great recovery so far. Will he be able to keep it up? Back up to the top, we shall see what happens. Liam still down in P22. He will have a lot of recovery to do, but I'm sure it will happen. We'll see what happens. But Jamie still battling away with the AIs. Was P5 for a second, managed to jump back up to P4. Will he be able to hold it though? Those AIs may be just too much of a threat for him. We shall see what happens here. But dropping on down, we've got Liam battling away with Albon, looking to start his recovery.
I mean, I'm just not going to flick over to him because every time I do, it turns sour. I'm looking towards the top. Noah all over the back of Matthew. And very much might be looking for a similar move to what his teammate done. But this time just a little bit too far back. As they both nail the apex. Faint out wide, coming into this third sector. And well, I mean, this was Noah's best opportunity. Now he finds himself 4 tenths behind Matthew. And as long as he aces this final corner and sticks tight, which he has, 3 tenths is the gap. They both got a little bit wide. But now Noah in the slipstream. But my oh my, Matthew with the exit probably of the season gains 3 tenths and Noah can't do anything about it.
Actually, he is still on the back of Matthew, potentially going for it here. He was looking down the inside, but couldn't make it work. I think corners will be his best bet. It's clear that Matthew potentially has the pace on the...
Dude, I'm 15th. That spin at the start really me. No! Oh, no. Tires.
P17 here.
As I say, Ian had a bit of a wobble coming out of the first sector, which is very much offset him here. He's got Liam closing in on the back of him now. Joe up to P11, I might just add. But my dad, we've had 7 laps. And it's an absolute car.
Joe spun out again. That was another reset to track. Do we implement the reset to track rules that we've had in previous seasons?
I mean, all I'm saying is no driver seems to be able to get some consistency going aside from those in the top 4. The rest of them massively struggling. 16, 17. And now Ian finds himself in the pit. Now, I'm not too sure if this is going to be a wing change, but it's a very early stop. Committing, though, to the 2 stop. It's not a wing change, just a straight tyre change. Puts on the mediums. I might just be looking for a medium to win this race.
Potentially, but will those mediums last? I just don't see it happening. I cannot do math, so I cannot work out how many laps are left. But anyway, we're going to jump up because whilst you were talking, Callum, Alonso was giving Noah the fight of his life. Noah stayed in front in P2, but it's clear that Alonso will not back away. And because of that, Matthew is now pulling away himself.
I was going to say, this is only now playing into Matthew's hands. He's on the harder compound, but tyre wear is reduced. So Noah very much struggling here to keep on the back of him, which only makes him vulnerable to the cars behind. I mean, you're looking at Joe, P14. I just think he needs to get these tyres off and reset. Made Jamie down to P5. Dan, there is drivers moving absolutely everywhere.
Oh! Jamie, but there was wheel contact. It was a massive dive bomb. But he did survive, battling away with Carlos Sainz. The dive bomb was tried, and unfortunately, it did not succeed in the end. Carlos Sainz stays ahead in P4. Jamie stays in P5.
I mean, yeah, Ian probably hoping for a safety car or something to salvage this race. Finds himself 36 seconds off the leader. I mean, yes, I know he's boxed. But these drivers mostly ahead of him can get away with a pit stop. Fresher tyres and will still be ahead of Ian. He's very much not had a good race here.
He may be thinking, though, if he can just catch up a little bit in time with the fresher tyres, potentially the undercut is there. I mean, the mediums will last long, and those softs surely...
My front left tyre's at 97%, so I've got a pit.
Now the P3 Noah actually pulls into the pits here. Probably giving you, Dan, a bit of an insight as to these tyres. Jamie stays out. Noah onto the mediums now with his teammate going ahead of him. But it does just show how much time you lose in this pit lane. So if you commit, you have to make sure it's worth it. It's about a 20-second stop in total in relation to you coming in to coming out. But this will only now cause Matthew to bear pressure with Alonso, who is absolutely crawling over the back of him now. But there's an issue, and it's with the Red Bull.
What has happened here? He was close to Joe, potentially accident Merrill, potentially with the AIs.
I think we know Jamie. I don't know if he ran out of talent there, to put it politely, but very much you see the difference. Noah comes in, Jamie commits to the extra lap on his tyres, and might have just cost himself some pivotal points by just not having the grip.
It does go to show, though, that if you don't understand these cars, you can easily slip out. But we will jump up because Matthew also going into pits now, potentially answering Noah with his own pit here. We'll see where Matthew ends up. Will Noah end up ahead? This is going to be interesting. But Joe jumps up to P4 here.
I think it's important to consider Matthew is putting on the hards. He might be looking for the one stop. I'm not 100% sure. Jamie goes for the mediums. A lot of these drivers who started on the soft might just be looking to do the two stop. But then, I ain't too sure about this McLaren. He might have to have a look in here. As Noah gets out in front. Dramatically out in front, should I add. By 3 seconds.
Maybe Matthew just got the wrong end of his strategy. It didn't work out too well. Obviously, Noah, with the earlier pit, has clearly worked out his plan. It is now up to P8 as he goes on the outside of Bortoleto. Brilliant overtake to get up to P8 there. He'll have some recovery jobs. But how long will Joe stay out? Will he wait for Noah to potentially catch up? Maybe a slingshot effect here. We'll see what happens, but Alonso pits now, which means Joe will jump up to P2. Noah up to P6, perhaps. This race is getting ahead. But Ian now up to P17. A little bit of a recovery, but as you said before, his pit may have just been too early. The gap too big for him to truly recover.
I mean, yeah, but you're looking at Jamie now. P20, Liam. P21. A lot of these drivers are struggling. I mean, that front left of Joe's must be absolutely screaming for him to come in. Noah finds himself P2 and has near a 6-second gap on Matthew. I mean, I don't know if Matthew had a bad outlap. He had a bit of a moment. I know, obviously, Alonso was on the back of him pretty quickly, so maybe there was an issue.
But Sainz is giving him a battle and just got ahead. I apologise to get you off, Callum. But Matthew now down to P5, clearly suffering with those hards.
I mean, yeah, but depends what game he's playing. And I would not be surprised if you see a potential one stop from the McLaren trying something different. Because you don't win by copying everybody else.
Very true, very true. But I do wonder what the Mercs are up to here. Will Joe pit? He isn't. I truly think they are going for a slingshot manoeuvre here. Noah catches up to Joe. Joe gives him a little bit of his slipstream. And Noah just slingshots off as Joe goes into the pits. Clearly, Joe's thinking, well, I've been knocked down. I cannot win here. Maybe, our best chance to score top points is Noah to get the win here today. If I can help him out, it's brilliant.
I mean, you say that about Joe's recovery. Presuming it's a good stop, he'll still find himself in and around the top 10. Jamie up to P14 now. Ian P12. But if all these drivers are battling, Joe might just find himself a nice little place to slot into, maybe in and around the Liam Lawson, Nico Hulkenberg area.
Potentially, and that would give us an absolute battle for recovery from Joe, and we know how good he is. Well, obviously, he's not had a few good races, but he is a brilliant driver in of himself, so he can pull that off. We'll see what happens here. But Ian, as you said, down to P12 here. Oh, well, I should say up, because he's having a massive recovery here. Whilst Jamie now up to P13, just got the overtake on Checo Perez. Liam still down in P17, suffering ever since he slipped out. It's just not worked out for Liam here today.
I mean, yeah, kind of the enemy of his own downfall. Should I say, a few errors of his own. Could say the same for Jamie with the spin on lap 10. You know, each of these drivers kind of have a mistake in them, which could cost them. I mean, you saw in qualifying Matthew lucky to even be on the front row to start, let alone currently in P4. Considering the fact that on his first lap, he nearly didn't finish it. He was in the wall and he kept the car running. Obviously, Joe's not had a pretty time with a bit of issues. The only one you can really say who's kept his nose clean is the man in P2, who now finds himself 6.8 seconds off the lead.
I do find that a lot of the time with Noah, though, he just somehow manages to... I'm not saying he doesn't get into incidents, but incidents find him, not the other way around for some reason. Whether, you know, it clearly is working out today. P2, he's catching up to Joe bit by bit here. But Alonso is also catching Noah as well. We'll see how Noah responds. Potentially a second win this season. I mean, he was even coming in to the season saying just one win. That's all I want. I'm not going to win anymore. Potentially a second one. That would blow his mind. But we shall see what happens here. But we are going to keep an eye on these times. No one seems to be near overtakes at the moment. Jamie battling away with Norris. But no threat at the moment.
I mean, you mentioned, sorry to just go back to this P2, P3 battle. You mentioned the fact that Alonso pressed him, but Alonso's on the soft. Which very much means in about 5 laps time, Noah can push his chest out and look to set better laps. I mean, Joe holding on here, and well, the gaps are getting bigger in and around this midfield. And with a lot of them guaranteed to stop again, are we looking at potentially the top 2 drivers doing a one-stop here, Dan?
That is a potential. I mean, Joe was saying before the start of the race that that was his idea. He was going to try and go for that DFL record of the gap between first and second. Obviously, that's probably not possible anymore today. But, well, as you say, the one-stop plan is still on for both of them. And it could massively work out. The 1-2 they missed out on last time could potentially be here. But Joe goes into the pits now, which will mean Noah takes P1 for the first time this race.
I mean, it's all important on the stop. He is onto the hards. And if he does 15 laps on the mediums, I can see him getting 18 laps out of these hards.
No pressure, but Jamie is going to win it.
I could, as you say, I cannot tell you who is going to benefit from this race, who is going to not. But we do have the yellow flag here, and Jamie's gone off the track.
I was going to say, this bull very much looking at without his horns at the moment. P21 and P22 respectively.
I don't think Jamie's getting it. He's out of the session.
Self in the wall. Coming through sector 1.
He is very lucky that did not start a safety car, because that would have opened up a whole heap of issues. Because we've had this potentially before where things aren't potentially going correct for Jamie. And I'm not saying it's what has happened here today, but he sort of thought about an early race exit. It is unfortunate. I wanted to see Jamie do well today, but no safety car. It's fine for now. Joe in P8, he is recovering well. Up to P7 as I say that. Gets the overtake on Valtteri Bottas and gets the overtake on Pierre Gasly. Up to P6. He's pulling a massive recovery here.
I mean, considering where he was on about lap 5, I think this is a very, very good run. But when you look at it in detriment, only 5 lap older tyres with a 9-second gap to P3 Matthew, who might be trying to match his strategy. I mean, Matthew might just build that wall of defence. It all depends what he wants from this race.
I will also say with Joe, now correct me if I'm wrong, because you have raced and I haven't. We're having a yellow fuel light come up on Joe at the moment. Is that bad?
I mean, by the looks of it, Dad, he might have underfueled. He's gone lighter. He might just be hoping for that safety car. It very much depends how much he's down on the fuel. There's still, I mean, we've exceeded the halfway point in this race. And maybe he obviously wouldn't have planned for everything else to happen as he now sets the fastest lap all over the back of Ocon and into P5. Is where you'll now find Joe 13 seconds off Noah. But going back to your original point, I think it is important to potentially look at that when it comes to later on. I mean, he has the tyre offset to a lot of the cars in front of him. But the big question might just be, is his car fueled up enough to finish this race?
I don't think it has. We might have had one time where someone's gone into low fuel mode, and luckily it is not on the harsher setting for these drivers. So if it does go low fuel mode, he still has a chance. But even so, under fueling your car, when I race, I won't fuel it too much, but I at least give it at least another 1.5 laps. That may make the car heavier, but at least you know, for the most part, your car will not go under fuel.
I mean, it all depends. Maybe he's banked on that safety car. He's very much flying on his hards at the moment. 3 attempts quicker than the next car, being Matthew. Also on the hard tyres, I'd like to add. But you're looking at every other driver sat in the 117s. So, very much struggling out there as the rest of them. Jamie was your only exception in the 118s. But now, this is very much, can Noah defend his lead? Or will it be Matthew coming up behind him and soon looking for a potential move on our last season's champion?
It's going to be interesting with 14 laps left to race. There is a lot of time left, and it looks like Matthew is going to be looking to get that overtake on Alonso very, very shortly. Potentially on this next straight. He's 5 tenths off, 6 tenths now. He was 3 tenths, lost a little bit of time in the corners. But what Matthew has to worry about is the other Merc of Joe. If he gets sandwiched in by 2 Mercedes, he is massively at a disadvantage. It's like last season when I was saying you and Preston, when you were squashing, I don't know, Noah or Ian, you two had a massive advantage against the other guys.
I mean, yeah, speaking from first-hand experience, you can always offset the strategy, as you've seen today. One driver looking for the 2-stop, one potentially running for the 1. I mean, Matthew has got past Fernando Alonso now, puts himself 3.3 seconds behind Noah, and Noah might just have to push for his life. I mean, he came in on this lap of his stint on the softs. He'll stay out longer on the mediums, but that would very much depend if he puts on the softs to finish or looks to use another set of mediums. If I was him, I'm looking for the mediums.
Fair enough. I wouldn't know because I haven't driven that much, so I'm not going to give insight. But Joe up to P4, overtaking Carlos Sainz. The only thing separating him and Matthew now is that Alonso, but Noah into the pits. Ian has also just been into pits down in P20, but the main focus here is Noah. Now that means Matthew goes P1. Joe will go P3 here. How far will Noah drop though? It's going to be interesting. What is the plan for these Mercs here?
Well, I mean, he has gone on to the hards. Maybe Ty were struggling a lot more than what meets the eye. But Noah should not look to enter the pits again. He's going to come out in P7. And obviously, he now has 10 lap fresher tyres than Matthew, with a gap of 18 seconds. So if Matthew doesn't want to box again, Noah's got to find some time and find it fast.
It's gonna be interesting how this goes down. Two Mercs chasing the McLaren. It's going to be an epic end to the race with 12 laps left to go here. But now, Ian has pitted. We didn't really talk about it. He's down in P18. He's got a lot of recovery, but he's also on the hards. Maybe the hards is the best bet here. Maybe, as you say, that wear is just too much. But there is wing damage on the right side of his wing as well. He will suffer because of that. But now...
There we go. Matthew forces the hand. Sorry to interrupt you there, Dan, but the McLaren's into the pit. 11 laps, he gets rid of the hards, he puts on another set. And I believe if Noah has a good lap, you're looking at a potential 3-second gap, which Matthew will need to find. There goes Noah. And Matthew now leaves the pit lane. It is looking about a 3-second gap. But now there is no tyre offset. So this is driver on driver, 5 seconds. To confirm now is the gap. Joe, 6-lap old hard. If I'm him, you've got nothing to lose going for it.
What's the point in pitting now? If you do, you're going to drop down. You may lose a bunch of time and a bunch of positions. As you say, you may as well just go head over heel for it. And even if Noah catches you up, you do the good old team orders. You let Noah pass. And then you go in the way that Checo was in 2021. The absolute masterclass of defending. I can't remember. Minister of Defence. That's it. I couldn't remember what the word was. It was coming to me eventually on the tip of my tongue. But my point stands. Jump up to P1 here.
I mean, yeah, Alonso pits, Sainz pits. This puts the Mercedes back 1-2. As of now, 5 laps, tyre offset, 11 seconds the gap. I mean, Dan, even if Joe has a mare here, Noah's looking to find a second lap. So we even just get to the back of Joe. Not even overtake him, potentially. And as you say, I know they're on the same team, but deep down every driver wants to win. And I don't think you'll be seeing a lot of team orders going on here. You see 6 seconds further back from Noah as well, you find Matthew. And I think maybe the one stop was the play, because the time you save coming in the pit lane, as long as he keeps it clean, I think we might potentially see a Mercedes 1-2 here.
And that is what they have been waiting for. And I know you said about, we may not see many team orders here, but speaking to them both, they are very much focused on the team this season. Of course, they both want to give a title charge, but if it comes down to team orders and what's best for the team, they will pull that move. It's exactly what you and Preston did. You and Preston were team first, each other second. So that's going to make it interesting. But as you say, a 10.8 second gap between Noah and Joe. Then a 5.7 second gap between Matthew and Noah. Maybe it's Noah that goes the Minister of Defence here.
Liam now boxing from P5. 12 laps on those mediums. Ian finds himself P10. We haven't really focused on the Englishman today. He's very much struggled and had a bit of a lonely race, but he does find himself in the points, which is all kind of what matters at the end of the day.
But can I just say, sorry to interrupt you, speaking on Liam, I may be wrong here, but it looked like he had a very slow stop. He did not get released immediately. I think he has had, I don't know how long it took, but I think that was a slow stop.
P5 down to where he is now, about a 30-second stop. I think you might be right there, Dan, because the average stop here, 20 to 25 seconds. He might have had wing damage, I'm not too sure. Again, it's been a lonely race for the Ferrari, who now finds himself P20. Not a good race for the Scuderia with Charles Leclerc in 17th.
No. It's going to be interesting, Mo. But I think what I want to talk about though is Ian is back in the top 10. The Haas driver is simply put undeniable. He will make sure he's in that top 10, but he's gone wide onto the gravel. That will affect him. Gasly and Norris will be on his tail with overtake mode here. It's going to get interesting, but can Ian secure some points here today?
I mean, go back, sorry, to what you were saying before. There was a change.
Matthew! He's gone off! I don't know what happened. Sorry to interrupt you again, Callum, but he's down to P4. 5 seconds off of Alonso.
I mean, yeah, the McLaren found a trip in the gravel. A lot of drivers have been struggling with that today. I mean, I saw I saw Matthew do the same on the formation lap. He found himself in the gravel. I mean, the same spot where Max Verstappen and George Russell in real life got a bit touchy. But, I mean, wow, Matthew struggling, nearly losing the back end of the car. Coming through towards the final few corners, allowing Carlos Sainz to catch up. And, well, that might have just took the edge off Noah's back. As I say, Noah needed to find about a second a lap. The gap has plateaued at around this 11 seconds, and Joe might have just absolutely pulled the one stop off. I mean, he went for the Hail Mary, he found himself towards the bottom, getting in an incident early doors. But hey ho, how the tides could change, and he finds himself in P1.
Very true, and it is only a gap, if I can do maths correctly, of 8 points between Merc and the top of the Constructors Championship. If they took home this 1-2, they would shoot straight up there. And what a time it would be to get up there. Only in round 3, but early doors is the best option to exert your dominance over the championship. I've probably talked a bunch of waffle right there. I've tried to make sense. It hasn't really worked. But anyway, dropping down, Ian's still in P9 holding it, but he is under threat by Norris and Gasly. Will Ian be able to hold this? Obviously with the wing damage there as well, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully he can pull something today, but Matthew pulls a 1:16.052 here. Fastest lap, showing he's potentially not out of this yet. Potentially a podium position for him today. With 6 laps left to go, it's getting interesting.
I mean, yeah, you have been praising the Mercedes all race. On the flip side of the coin, both Red Bulls find themselves out. Not good for their Constructors Championship push. As you saw Hadjar pull over with a suspected engine issue. But as you say, Matthew, I mean, dips the toe in the gravel, loses 2 places, and the lap after goes fastest by 0.6 of a second. I mean, wow, very much showed he's got the pace. Joe, no longer an issue with fuel, should we say. And again, just holding this 11-second gap. Noah, well, I mean, he's raced brilliantly. Didn't have a great qualifying, and yet has put himself up there for the Mercedes 1-2 potentially. And as you say, Matthew now 11 seconds behind. I mean, this is going to be a red flag, or this has got to be a safety car to blow open this race.
Honestly, and hopefully we don't get anything. Obviously, I know Matthew will be hoping for it, but as owner, I don't want to see any incidents, because then we have the whole penalty issues, and it just causes a bunch of stuff I can't be bothered with. But anyway, just going on to the Drivers' Championship really quickly. Noah is only currently 2 points off of the leader, aka George, in the championship. With the way it's going now, and if my maths is correct, which I'm sure, Callum, you can tell everyone it is very questionable at times, Noah will go ahead in the championship if he holds that P2 position.
I mean, if things stay as they are, I think he will. But 4 laps to go, anything can happen. We've seen that. Joe, I mean, I didn't really want to mention it, was quickest last lap in that first sector. despite 13 lap old hard, the tyres, or should I say the time, fell away towards the end. But he's very much now extended a longer gap to Noah. 13 seconds is the gap between first and second. And well, this might just get lonely between them now. But it's important that they keep their noses clean. And this is a massive haul of points for the team based in Brackley.
It really is, and especially, I've mentioned it a few times now, after last time out, when they didn't secure that 1-2, this will be absolutely a breath of fresh air if they can survive, and a confidence booster going into the next Grand Prix. And of course, we are not moving very far. We're staying in Spain's soil, and we are going to the new track of Madrid, where a lot of people are suffering, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure to tune into that. Don't miss it, people, because it's going to be a lot of fun. But how will the Mercs prepare for that? Will they be able to hold, if they get a lead in the Constructors and Drivers' Championship here today, will they be able to hold it in Madrid? It's going to be interesting because everyone, and I mean everyone, is suffering there. I've driven it myself. It is a bunch of baloney. It is that difficult. I'm trying not to swear at the moment because I really want to. But my point is, it's such a difficult track that these guys will have to adapt, and they will have to adapt fast to it. Otherwise, who knows? Madrid may just become the new Belgium. No, is it? Yes. I was correcting myself there. But
I mean, no point focusing on the future. Let's focus on the now. 3 laps to go. And Noah, well, he has found 2 seconds since we last mentioned. Very much now you'll see Joe begin to struggle and potentially look to limp home. But as you say, kudos to Noah this race. 7 places he's improved. It's only fallen to Alex Albon, who's gained 8 in this race. But Noah very much had the start that he'd have wanted and has kept his nose clean.
What a race by Noah, as you were saying. It is incredible, and it just shows that whilst other people get into incidents accidentally, somehow Noah stays safe and secure. Whether he'll be able to do that in the last 2 laps is another question. But you really do have to think, if Matthew hadn't slipped out when he did, would this be another race? But that is what happens here in the DFL. One accident, one simple mistake can cost you completely. Luckily, Matthew managed to rescue it and will hold a P4, potentially a podium position here today. But I'm not sure that's likely with the way it's looking at the moment. But
I mean, yeah, Alonso 3.8, 3.9, nearly 4 seconds ahead of Matthew. Noah, though, finding dramatic time. All I'm going to say is maybe he might just run out of laps. Because in the last lap, he has gained 3 seconds on his teammate. Joe is struggling out there, but he might have just done enough to ensure he maintains P1. With 2 laps to go, 8 seconds. This is going to have to be some disaster from the man leading to throw this all away.
very true, and it doesn't really look like Noah's pushing too much. Whilst Joe was just boosting, Noah is harvesting. Potentially, maybe Noah is just backing off a little bit. He doesn't want to risk the 1-2. He wants to make sure this is secured for Merc. So he would rather let Joe take the win and Noah keep that P2 position.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, we're looking down further in the order. You got a potential Scuderia battling for the points. Ian has fallen off the back of Lawson, and there is a train forming behind him. Obviously, as you mentioned, the wing damage. But Liam potentially looking for the move on Lando. Lando sticking to Ian like glue. So Liam can't make the move. All over the back. And Ian, he's going to have to be lucky to maintain points as Liam goes up the inside of not 1, but 2. drivers as he finds himself P9. And again, a driver who's not had a great race has found 9 positions. He is now your most improved driver of the day. After a terrible qualifying, a few mistakes, he now finds himself gaining 2 points today.
Very true, and what a great...
Okay, we're seeing a loss of pressure in the front left tyre. It's probably a slow puncture.
Are you serious? Like, right now? Right now, like, here, right... Are you
He will have to survive. Whether he can do it is another question, people. But we are going to switch over to Joe here because we are coming towards the end. And don't worry, I'm not going to surprise attack Callum this time with the end. I'm going to take it because he kind of told me to before the start of the video. So that is what we are doing. But people, what a brilliant race it has been for Mercedes. Joe got knocked down to P22, but he has recovered magnificently and come back to take that P1 position and the win here in the Catalonia Grand Prix in Barcelona. But it's not just Joe who gets a good points position in the mode. It is also Noah to come home for the Mercedes 1-2 here today. What a result for them both. Strikes them both to the top of the Constructors Championship. And Noah strikes him up to the top of Drivers Championship. What a brilliant result it is for them two today. But Matthew comes home in P4. Just misses out on that podium position. Unfortunate for him, but nevertheless we're gonna drop on down because Liam is coming up on Lawson. Will he be able to get one more overtake before the end? Potentially a P8 is calling for him. He's on the inside and he gets the P8 position and comes home for it. And Ian, P10, he does it and secures a point here today. What a brilliant race. We're gonna go to the podium, people. And here we are with the podium, and for the first time this season, both Merc drivers are on the podium. Joe in P1, Noah in P2 here today. And we've got Alonso in P3. I've got Benji in my room now, so I apologise if you're hearing him walk about. But what a brilliant race it is for Merc today, putting them to the top of both championships. And can they manipulate that and potentially... again, do that in Madrid. I'm losing my words. I'm losing my voice. We're going to go to the leaderboard, people.